The way people will bang on you over a sports team, you know what I mean? I work in Kansas City right now when I want to go do something,
I'm a
right?
Niner fan, bro.
Yeah, I'm a Niner fan. You know, I got to go to the grocery store.
I can't stand this shit right here.
Yeah, I got a 75-year-old lady from live in Lakewood
Banging
looking at me like I'm crazy
Cheeks.
with my little Niner shirt on.
Yeah.
She looked me
Chiefs
up and down
Kingdom.
like she want to bang on me.
Chiefs
there was a lot.
Why ain't I see you around back when I was down?
Yeah. What's up, world? It's your boy Big Court of the Holdin Court podcast. You already know what it is, man. What's going on with your producer, Ken?
Hey, you know I'm gonna say this about everything. Every time we get on this, and I haven't been on in a while.
Yeah.
I read the comments. I've been getting a lot of hate. A lot of hate that I mention Sacramento in every interview.
What you do though?
I do though.
Anytime I'm from Sacramento.
I get a lot of hate.
North Highlands. I'm from Sacramento.
North Highlands, Sacramento, born in Kaiser North. But today,
Push the line.
hey, today's a special day because I got the phone call from the homeboy who said, hey, I want to pull up. And typically it's just you.
Yeah.
I'll move shit around if you call me.
Yeah.
But for this brother, he called, I'm going to be here on these days. And I was like, I fucking got to make it happen.
That's a fact.
Because it's a Sacramento legend. And we got to take care of our legends from our hometown. So I'm going to let you do the intro, but it's a special one. It's always a special one. It's family. And
Real
we
talk.
appreciate this, brother.
And so, but listen, we can't even really just deduce it to Sacramento legend. You know what I mean?
Oh,
He's
well,
a Sacramento legend. Yes, we're going to represent the turf. I'm going to let you do that, right? 916. But he is a legend just in the game, period.
That's true.
In totality.
That's
you know
true.
what I mean?
That's true.
And this is my brother. You know what I mean? He done paid his dues, and then some. You know what I mean? And he back to claim his motherfucking spot. You know what I mean? We here to get the spot.
Yeah,
you know
he's
what
here
I'm
for
saying?
spot.
Yeah. And he didn't spent the block. So y'all seen him 3 years ago. My brother pulled up when we first started. We first started this podcast.
One of the first guests.
One of the first guests. He hadn't
guests.
seen anything. He didn't need to see it. He said, real talk. When I hit him, he was like, just say the word, I'm there. Let me know what day, what time, I'm there. And he came, flew out here. I think he flew private too.
I did.
You know what I mean?
Jumped on the jet.
Yeah, jumped on the jet and came out here and seen me.
Yeah.
So without further ado, we got the legend, the man himself, my brother from another. And he know that's real.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
mama.
X-rated Loc.
Hey.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
sir.
Yes. What's good,
Yeah,
brother?
man. It's an honor to be with y'all. I'm very, very, very fond of both of y'all.
Yeah.
You're my brother, man.
That's right.
My brother. You have never let nobody play with me. You have never let a single soul play with me when it come to these bars,
Nope.
when it come to who your MCs are, what you stand on. I'm very, very, very grateful.
Every episode.
Every episode.
Top three.
That's a
Top-
fact.
And they
a
ask
fact.
me my top three in general. And
Yeah.
I go, shit, that's Bo, Lynch, right?
Yep, real
In no
talk.
specific
Without fail.
order.
Without fail.
That's it. Every time. Every time.
Without
I
fail.
greatly appreciate it, man. It's an honor. I've been telling the team, all week, like my schedule was intentionally situated so that I end my experience in a family experience. So I get to come home and just kind of chill out because I'm with my folks, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm with my people.
Yeah.
This is a family
That's right.
conversation that people just get the privilege of being able to witness.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right. And so even though, he's off camera right now, but he'll be punching in, but I'll go ahead and introduce the big homie. So I'll introduce him, but I'll let you do it as well.
Yes,
you know
sir.
what I mean? But we got the brother, Big Dooney, OG, Big Dooney, 29th Street Garden Block, originator, co-founder. We got him in the building too. But I'll let you do that because you can really go into this brother's history of what he means to the culture, what he means to Sac, what he means to you.
Yeah.
So
So Big Dooney, as you said, one of the Mount Rushmores from the block, an originator. He's significant to my story for a variety of reasons, but a lot to do with the fact that because of of his resume and his history and his decency and his character, he was always somebody that I would listen to. I trusted Dooney. So Dooney was one of the reasons I was a monster, and also one of the reasons I went and got my education. I started doing what I was supposed to do. Somebody that tried to make sure that while I was in there with everything attempting to break my spirit, that I knew what I was, what I stood for, what my responsibility was as far as what I needed to be saying and doing, and mainly maintaining my hope, my understanding that, hey, God is bigger than the laws, the state of California, a life sentence. He bigger than all of that. Don't lose hope. Don't you hold on to your hope and do what you're supposed to do. And so he's significant to my story. A lot of decisions that I made that I'm proud of, and why I'm here right now. Yeah, I got a lot to do with my big homie.
Yeah,
That's
dope.
Big Dooney.
Yeah,
I'm proud of you.
And I
as
done
well.
got a chance to chop it up with this brother. Good dude. Very solid, knowledgeable, wisdom. You know, that OG wisdom. Person that been through something, seen some shit. And we gonna circle back to you, Dooney. So listen. 3 years ago, me and you chopped it up on this show. You know, you was kind of somewhat fresh out. Everybody knows your story. And I feel like that time it was more about, you know, atonement, and you know, just really, you couldn't do a whole lot because you was walking a thin line. You was still on parole. It was a lot you was trying to figure out. Now, off parole, congratulations.
Thank you, man.
You know,
Yes, sir.
And
Wow.
we'll get into the stress of that. But
Yeah.
how I want to kick it off is, I know this tour and the new album, you know, A Sin in Heaven, dropping or out by the time this is out. You got a lot of shit that you want to get off your chest.
Yeah,
you know
I
what I'm
got some
saying?
items.
Because now you can talk.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now
Yeah.
it's not the constraints of parole and trying to make sure that, you know, when people Google you, the shit ain't fucked up and all of that. Now you can really say what you mean.
Indeed.
So with that being said, so, and I don't want to stir the pot, but I'm gonna keep it 100 because we fam. So I know you, Bo, and Lynch are on the same page now.
We
It's
are.
all love now, which
It
is
is.
beautiful. The hip hop world is loving that, and we
Yeah.
can't wait to see what y'all, you know, got coming. But even more so, what it means to the community of Sacramento,
Absolutely.
and what it represents.
Yeah.
But I have to apologize because I know when I had the brother Bo, who I consider, you know, fam as well, we were speaking about, you know, his experience with you, you know, and just that whole dynamic. And, you know, you and I had some conversations, and you took umbrage with just the way some things were painted, you know, that you weren't able to speak on. But I want to give you a chance to kind of clear up, you know, some things that were somewhat misrepresented, not knowing if it was on purpose, but it was a little ripple effect after that interview.
Yeah, just a little bit. I think that what I'll say, especially in relation to Bo, like the big homie got us on the phone. You know, he was always, I think one of our best conversations was me, you, and Bo together on the phone.
Accountability conversations. Owning your shit, bro. Love, bro. Shit.
Yeah. Yeah, it was beautiful. And so that led to a few different things. T-Nutty and Bo ended up doing a show together. And, you know, T-Nutty, my baby boy, you know what I mean? Put him in the game, have always been there with him and advocating for him, anything I could do. So, you know, Nutty and Bo having their conversations, like, you know, let's go, man. What are we doing? I think a lot of the division had to do with the Mozzie No Jumper interview, I think it was. That kind of had a lot to do with it. I think me and Bo disagreed on how I perceived what Mozzie was saying. Bo didn't like that. He took it as I didn't take his side. And it wasn't more so that I didn't take his side. I just didn't perceive the offense the same way that he did. I didn't see it to be an offensive thing. So that caused a little bit of division. I think mainly it was a matter of, you know, we grown men.
Right.
And people had hurt, you know, you could do something that could hurt somebody's feelings. And we gangsters. So it's like my brother's a G. You ain't, man, you hurt my feelings.
Yeah.
It was funny, you know what I mean? When you on the phone, he was trying to get through that. Man, you hurt.
Yeah.
Man, you hurt my feelings.
That's maturity to be able to
It
do that. Yeah.
I said, I apologize,
Yeah,
man. I
yeah.
apologize. So we did get to have a conversation about that because it wasn't just about if I had believed that Mozzie was saying something different than what he believed, but more so that just it feel like I didn't have the support I'm supposed to have. You know what I mean? So I can understand that in my quest for us to be communicating correctly and what I want for Sacramento, not just Garden Block. I want for my city to be on, but that got to be first and foremost my section is
Right.
my first concern. You can put the mask on yourself, you take care of your people, and then we could look around and see what we can do with everybody else. So that's kind of where I'm at. I love the health of Sacramento hip hop right now. It matters to me that we have a healthy culture, that people have an opportunity to do this at the highest levels. And so I think that's kind of where I was coming from. And I think some people was coming from things that I couldn't know, being separate from the ground. And so we just coming from two different places, and I feel like we got through that. I think the only thing I didn't like in the way that I'll address that is, so there's the story of I leave the Sacramento County Jail in 1996. And prior to leaving the county jail, me and Bo were together. So Bo's in 200 pod. I'm actually in 300 pod because they house you according to offense. So 100 pod is traffic tickets, drunk drivers, people, nobody got hurt. 200 pod is somebody might have got hurt, but they didn't need a suture or no suture, stitches, staples.
Right.
And then 300 pod is people got hurt, maybe they didn't live, you know, whatever. So I'm in 300 pod. I'm already convicted, and I'm on my way to prison. Been rapping and, you know, going to see Bo because I had juice. And I'm X-rated in the Sacramento County Jail, bro. Right. So the doors open all day. If I go walk in 200 pod, man, open this door, they're going to open that door. And I'm in the pod busting rhymes on Bo's door. And they could hear it. They got the speaker on. The police is just as much as fans as everybody else. They from Sacramento. They got X-rated and C-Bo spitting rhymes together. This is a movie. You know what I mean? So I'm on the door and I'm busting rhymes just sitting. So, yeah, me and Bo was really kicking it prior to me heading out to our Triple C and then ultimately to Tracy. And so I actually got convicted and was about to be sentenced. So I was waiting for sentencing. So Bo gets in an argument with somebody. I'm in the day room cleaning the clippers. And I got the barber saw and I see Bo turn around and start talking to somebody. And I see this dude come circle around. So I start heading to the door. Like, I know this nigga ain't finna try and jump the homie. And I pull the pod door open and I walk in the pod. And as I do, the dude steps up on the couch, like behind Bo. And he's about to kick him. And I splash him with the barber saw and piece him up. Bop, bop, bop. And Bo just got on him and we packed this dude out. And I'm in a pod I'm not supposed to be in. So I get arrested. I got arrested and charged with assault with a weapon. And when I got sentenced, I actually ended up getting 31 to life because they gave me 3 additional years for that, for doing that. So, like, that's kind of, me and Bo was on one. So I get sent to Tracy. Big No Love is my cellie. I go in the cell with him. You got to do 10 days on before you can run around, 10 working days. And then you go to a committee, and that committee will approve you to move around, but you haven't had your full classification yet. So I do 10 days on that, and then we start popping in a different, you know, going out to the concrete yard and shit like that. And so one day, me and No Love walking outside, and we look up and we see Bo standing in the window, like giving it up. And we was like, what the fuck? And that was kind of how I found out that Bo was even there. It was me and No Love on our way outside. And so it bothered me during that interview with you that there was a portion where it was like, yeah, I had to take X outside, and like, there's too much time for you to, and I just was disturbed by that a little bit, but not enough for it to be nothing, you know, it wasn't nothing. But it just was, I was on my way outside when I saw Bo up there. So I think politically, you know, the proper way to communicate that is that people remember shit different. I remember.
They have different vantage points, the odyssey of recollection, you know.
Yeah, man, it is what it is. Me and No Love was walking outside, and that's how we saw Bo up there doing his 10 days. He just got there. We had been there for, I don't know, maybe a month or so, because it was September when he got there, I believe. Or I know we was together in that cell for a little over a month before they moved him to the dorms, and then they sent me to New Folsom. So like it was, that's how I remember the story.
And the reason I wanted to give you the you know, the floor to clear that, because, you know, we talked about it when that interview came out, you know what I mean? And from my vantage point, I didn't hear it like how I don't know if it was intended, but you know what I'm saying? But then when you told me, like, bro, my memory of that is different. You know what I'm saying? And the way it's being said as if, you know, it's presented like it's trying to minimize me. You know what I mean?
I did feel like there was
yeah.
an attempt to. I don't believe that Bo was doing that intentionally, though.
Right.
Like I said,
Right.
that's the way he remembered the story. But what I saw was that the way people were receiving
Yes.
it, they were using that to
Right.
legitimize trying to hate on me.
Exactly.
And I didn't like that.
Yep.
And I'm very conscious of not creating opportunities. See, the difference between me and a lot of people, I happen to believe that Garden Block got some of the dopest niggas in the history of the earth. I think that, well, I know we train to go where I'm from. And so I'm never going to create a circumstance where I put or label something that one of mine is doing to where it's going to be less than G.
Right.
If I got something to say about it, that's not what we gonna do.
That's
So I'm definitely not gonna allow some random person with a computer to be able to attack my brother because I'm not conscious of the way that I might be speaking about him. You know what I mean? So ain't nobody had to take me outside, nigga. You know what I mean? First of all, I'm at Tracy. It's headquarters for the NCs. Like if I walk outside, there's 40 Garden Block Crips outside. It's 40 niggas from Northside Gangsta outside. The San Jose's is outside. The Merceds is outside. I just dropped Exorcist.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going outside. Like, somebody got to take X-rated
right.
outside because we really want to think that. Yeah. So, like, that's just like, you got to, if somebody want to believe that, they got to literally want to believe it.
Right.
You got to want to believe it.
Yeah, they already hating anyway. You know what I'm
Me
saying?
and Bo was doing whatever X-rated and SIBO are in a cell together on a yard in Northern California, right?
Yeah.
With 24-year-old CO bitches with ass walking around, right? Nigga bitches getting screamed at by sergeants for being on our door for an hour, out of pocket, body language all crazy. Our door open, this bitches just posted up at our door, getting screamed at. We going to any job we want. Man, we want to work in the kitchen. Me and this nigga in there making pancakes, doing our thing, fending bitches off. Like, nigga, bitch, you can't talk like that in front of these niggas. You know, tell on us like you got to be careful. Bitches out of pocket. This nigga's on all eyes on me, and I just dropped Exorcist. Like, we shining. It's ridiculous.
Time,
you know what I mean? So if somebody don't understand what was cracking, they either ain't never been through nothing to be able to imagine what life would be like to have a SIBO and an X-rated in a cell together in Northern California in 1996. If somebody think we was on some house shit, they extremely confused about what this Blocc shit go for, what it's about.
That's also the end, though. Let me chime in, though, because that's also, and I'm glad y'all are having this conversation because I know you would call me about it, but that's also the internet. Like, I was joking at the beginning of this, but motherfuckers just run with shit on the internet.
They do.
And sometimes I see some shit about him, and I call him, he laugh it off. I be like, oh, you see this shit they just said about you?
Yeah.
And he be like, man, I don't care about that shit. And sometimes it's like, all right, I forget that it's 120,000 subs out there.
Yeah, man. Who knows who the fuck people are?
Just typing away.
It takes some adjusting because, you know, we come from a real world. We from a different generation where when you say some shit, you got to pay for your words with your ass. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But now anybody can say anything. You know what I mean? So
and actually demand an answer. They got the nerve to be like, yeah, what about this? And I'll
then
be like,
people are
I'll click the picture and I'll be like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
This nigga living where?
Yeah. And
This
people
nigga talking to
you know
me
what?
crazy in Indiana? Like, not that, you know, it's gangsters in Indiana, I get, you know. But I'm like, you ain't one of them.
I guarantee that if motherfuckers commented, and when you commented, your information, somebody could like long press on it, and it got your location, your address, your picture. Social media be clean in a bitch. It wouldn't be no trolling, would be none of that.
When we did the SIBO interview, I had said something. Now, at the time, I'm in North Highlands working at the studio. I'm a teenager with H Wood, but we was working with Low Key at the time. SIBO, Hollow Tip, our guy from
Yes,
Highlands.
sir.
But I remember saying something in that interview about West Coast Bad Boys and me and Court known each other forever. And someone was like, white boy don't know shit. He said that this came out, and I was like, I was in the fucking studio. Like, I was, whatever we was talking about, I was there for it. Like, what the fuck is you talking about? Like, I was there when that was recorded, but
Your knowledge is off the hook. I don't know who that was that thought they could talking to you about what came out when and where.
Yeah, I was like, wait, hold on. But on top of that, whatever we was talking about that they mentioned, I was like, I think he's talking about the shit that I was in the studio. But, you know, even when we had SIBO, we've had Yuck Mouth. when someone's got that big of a catalog, like motherfuckers forget timelines. Like I don't know, I think I dropped
Yeah,
that,
yeah,
and
yeah,
then
for sure.
then this came out, and again we was in the studio for a lot of that shit. So I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't remember the timeline exactly on that came out 2 months before this shit, but it's the internet, man.
It's
People-
the internet.
People just run with it.
I didn't, when I first came home, the first two people to tell me that, because I was like, what the, people was reckless. I was like, what the,
Man.
and it was, Mac was the first one who called me and was like, hey, do me a favor. I need you to, he said, I need you to acknowledge love and ignore hate.
That's a fact.
And he said, right now what I see is you acknowledge hate and ignore
fact.
love.
Yep.
He said, you passed up. He said, go look at that comment you just did. You passed up 40 people trying to tell you something good so you could argue with one person that says something stupid.
That's a fact.
And I was like, damn. And so I was like, okay, cool. Let me ignore a hater or block the shit out of one of them. But I acknowledge love. And what I saw was that the love deal with the rest of that.
Yep, it
I ain't-
trump. Exactly.
Not only
Exactly.
does it trump, but they the ones that start checking now.
That's a
I
fact.
damn near got a beehive now. You say the wrong thing, my fans would be like, shut up. They just run them motherfucker
Let me
off.
tell you the other good side to that. So I learned that too. I was like, damn, hold up. I got 99% love. And so if I got 1,000 motherfuckers that's complimentary, why I zero in on this one motherfucker right here? You know what I mean? And I'm going at it with him. But then once you learn social media and you learn the algorithms, shit, the hate, you welcome that. You know what I'm saying? Because now the more that they engaging and the more they going back and forth, all they do is push the content.
Yeah,
so I let them
engagement.
fight. I'm like, okay, I need some. It's shit. It been times where I'm like, nah, this too much good shit. I need somebody to get in here and start some shit. You know what I mean? I need somebody to get in here and say some hateful shit. So that
Not where the
you know what
haters
I mean?
at. Like, goddamn, it's too much.
I damn near want to make a fake account and come in here and say some bullshit about myself. You know what I mean?
He say that, but trust me, I've been with him on plenty of trips where I had to talk him off the ledge, do some shit where I'm like, look, you wilding right now. We got back.
Them be trolls that I know and got access to. It's
Right.
one thing
Yeah,
for
you be pulling up on them.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You know what I'm saying? But, yeah. But,
I know who he
Court dog and big court ain't the same dude. Some of these dudes got to deal with court dog.
I'm still a work in progress in some.
We was looking at
instances,
pictures
you
from
know what I
20
mean?
years ago, and I'm like, oh, you remember when this,
Yeah.
whatever, with chicks and dudes and people
Yeah.
pulling up. So
Yeah.
Hey, so you said something
you
about
talk about the trolls, but you pull up
allegedly. So
Allegedly.
hey,
always.
so I want to put my fan hat on real quick, just for a second, because even though you my brother, nigga, I'm a fan. And just the other day in the gym, I've texted you a few times. Like literally, I just start listening to Psychoactive, and I hit him like, bro, what was you thinking when you wrote this?
I
Like
remember
nigga,
that.
like this shit is advanced. Like this nigga's 17, 16, and even
Yeah.
not just the creativity, you know, not just the lyrical prowess, but the creativity as well. I'm like, damn. I was listening to Psychoactive in the gym the other day. Then I was listening to Exorcist. What was your headspace during Exorcist?
Oh, my headspace during Exorcist was still banged out. I was still psychologically in a space of just I was defiant and standing on it. So it's Blocc, and it was what it was. I feel like Psychoactive was me looking at Homicide and looking at what other rappers were doing and wanting to represent, you know, Homicide got Oak Park jumping and, you know, he Oak Parked out, and I'm like, this is South Side.
Yeah.
So I kind of, you know, took a couple shots at him. I was motivated by making sure everybody knew it. Our section was the section. And
Psychoactive.
yeah, when I was making Psychoactive, I
Yeah.
still had that competitive, you know, because it was me or Homicide at the time.
Yeah.
One of us was
You
going to pull it
name-dropped
up.
him. You
Also,
name-dropped
rest in
him,
peace, Homicide.
Rest in
Yeah,
peace
rest
to
in peace
Homicide.
to Homicide.
Yeah, this is complete homage
Yeah.
to Homicide.
Yeah, for
Homicide, I can't be motivated by nobody that was whack. So let's go there. Homicide was Doghouse. Doghouse still in my playlist.
Yeah.
That shit slap. Boom, 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 boom,
Yeah.
boom, 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 boom. That bass line,
Yeah.
it was nasty. He had it lit. He had his homies lit.
Yeah.
You know, so I was hating on him. I was activated.
You know what I'm
He
saying?
activated my internal hater. I was like, oh, we ain't even going for that.
Yeah, I did that too on a record, I ain't gonna say who it was because it ain't too far off from
Yeah.
But yeah, I did that too. It's just competitive.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I was watching him. I was like, okay, what's going on? But I was the first artist on Black Market. I was proud of that. You know, it was gonna be me or him.
Yeah,
it was gonna be me or him, and I was just, it was me. It was
me. So, so I want to fast forward to now, because I know where your headspace is now. You're off parole. You know what I mean? Man, I'm so proud of you.
Thank you, man.
Hold on, though, because you was asking about the headspace for Exorcist.
Yeah.
I want to say the reason that the Sacramento shit gets so much attention from me, and I always shout it out, is that album, that period of time, you, Bo, Lynch, what Black Market was doing. I mean, it was special. Like, you was going through your shit, and I think the people in the streets, because I was pulling up to, I think it was Power Inn, where Black Market was, with Clyde, the guy that I was trying to, do albums and shit with. But we was picking up the street team pack from SED with the fucking stickers, and we at the tower that was across from Florin Mall, and we tagging the town up with the stick. I think I still might have some at home, but I think there was so much energy because, like you had said it earlier, like I was in a cell with someone on All Eyes on Me. And from our section in our little town, the reason I shouted out so much is that period was like, yo, we all felt like we was winning. Like, y'all was the ones winning. But everyone was like, bro, we like Bo's on Pac's album.
You feel me?
And like man, that was a period. Like Season of the Sickness is out. You got Exorcist out. You got Gas Chamber out. And Tales from the Crypt, I think, was out. Bro. Because Till My Casket Drop wasn't out yet. But like
97,
I feel like Sacramento, everyone, all the little studios, Hitworks and Highlands, H-Wood Studio, and all the like
Crystal Clear,
Inharmonic, like
Inharmonic.
all the studios was buzzing, and your stickers was everywhere, and Bo's shit was everywhere, and we felt like, oh shit, we might. Like all these cities have a movement. Yeah. Like that was our movement. That was our era. And it was you leading the charge.
That's a fact.
It was Bo, it was Lynch.
Yeah.
And like, man, we was just proud. We was like, yo, this is like our time. We're gonna tag this town up. We gonna fucking go down to LA, tag that shit up. We're going to every city and being like, yo, this is Sacramento. Like, man. This is what Sacramento sound like, feel
That's
like.
That's beautiful.
It was a special moment. So like, wow. He was in that headspace. He put everyone in the town in that headspace.
No, that's a fact.
I don't want to say banged out on some gangster shit, but we was banging Sacramento. Like if we was, because I was in the North Highland studio with H-Wood, another rapper, but we was going in and around to every city. I'm talking Portland, LA, Vegas, and I was going and hitting SED before we hit them cities. Just have your guys' shit, boom, 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 like we was banging Sacramento rap, so everybody knew what time it was.
It's pride.
So it was pride. It was
pride.
Yeah,
man, the hometown pride.
That's right.
The way people will bang on you over a sports team. You know what I mean? I work in Kansas City right now when I want to go do something.
I'm a Niner fan, bro.
Yeah, I'm a Niner fan. I got to go to the grocery store.
I can't stand this shit right here.
I got a 75-year-old lady from live in Lakewood
banging
looking at me like I'm crazy with my little Niner shirt on. She looked me up and down like she want to bang on me.
There was a lot of Holdin in that Super Bowl.
There literally was. But we'll say, pride, hometown pride is something that I think is very important. And I think, I've communicated with the younger rappers from any section. I'll reach out. I've done that with all of them. Slide up on them. I've had very positive, uplifting conversations with Lavish D before, just to tell him what I felt, you stay safe out there. You stay dangerous. He be like, do what you got to do. This is my input, my opinion, and boom, he was gone and I was gone. You know what I mean? Slid up on Mozzie like, this is what I think. This is what my experience was. Drop this information on him, boom, and that was that. You know what I mean? DB, me and DB have had dialogues. Me telling him how proud I am of him, of his movement, because hometown pride. You know what I mean? Killer Mike wins a Grammy. A Grammy comes to Sacramento. You know what I mean? I'm proud of that.
Yeah.
A Grammy came to Sacramento as a result of that album.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, you know, Black Panther soundtrack, shit like that. So, Bo being on All Eyes on Me, the farther back we go.
Yeah.
You know, the people starting to work with E40, you know, Ice-T being on E40 and Ice-T being on Loaded with Lynch.
That's right.
You know, Snoop being on, it was a big deal. You know what I mean? So I feel like I want that pride back. I want that pride back.
So
I want to get there where people feeling like we putting
Yeah.
Sacramento on.
Yeah.
But, you know, of course, that start at home for me. It started in the gardens for me.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
Speaking of that hometown pride, let me ask you, because I know you're in a very different space now. You know what I mean? You were able to accomplish a lot, even still, while doing, you know, at that time, what would be a life sentence. You know what I mean? More so than motherfuckers that was out. You know, do you feel like you get your just due as an artist now in the echelons of, you know, the Cubes and the Snoops? Like, do you feel like you're right up there and you should be up there and recognized up there with them lyrically, creatively, and your body of work? Do you feel like people like the hip hop community give you that?
I feel like when people start having conversations and somebody says it, which you two have always done, it's always agreed with.
Yeah.
Right? But if they go do that and no one says it, then they won't. Right? But it'll tell me that we've influenced their work.
That's a fact.
Or we can see literally that we've influenced their work. And I think that got something to do with why there hasn't been that acknowledgement. You know what I mean? If you studied something and it worked and you became who you are, and that was the secret, because, you know, I was a safe person to be inspired by, because I couldn't pop up and say, man, you just, that's my shit.
Right.
That's me. I was doing that. That came from my shit. You don't get it, then it's like, you know what I mean? So I feel like your human ego is situated in a way where it could be difficult for people to acknowledge what you've done for them. And I don't play like that. I feel honored to be a part of the chronological order of West Coast hip hop history. And I think it matters first to be indexed where you belong. And I want my fucking spot. I mean it. I want my spot.
Absolutely.
And I'm going to take it. They're going to give it to me, or I'm going to take my spot. But there's going to be an acknowledgement that when we say what our history is, going as far back as, like, if we go, I think if we're too loose with the process, because I've thought about this, then I got to go how far back to acknowledge everybody, right? So it's like, who's still standing?
Right.
If you didn't pass away, then who's still standing? And who's still dope? Who's still go?
Right.
Who still move the people? Who's still here? Because that's a part of it.
Right.
That's a part of being a GOAT, is that you still here, you still standing, and you're still dope.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then you got other people that are legacy artists where they were dope, very dope. But now I'm coming to see you because you were dope, not because you are dope. Yeah. And there's a different thing. Some people aren't still in a competitive space. Like when you listen to a 40 on a brand new beat and that 40's still hungry.
Yeah, that's right.
Get on a beat acting like, you understand?
He still influence culture.
Man,
Yeah,
40
he
will
does.
punch on you on a
does.
song.
Yeah.
40 will punch on you if
That's a
you don't
fact.
watch him. You don't get on a song playing with 40, get mauled. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I feel. You get on a song playing with me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do what I do on that song. It's gonna happen still.
Yeah.
And so it ain't a lot of people left. And that's the problem with not honoring our OGs. You
That's
know
a
what I
fact.
mean? We don't
That's
want
a
to.
fact.
People don't want to honor them. And if we did, and you said who's still doing what they do, it's like that list. That ain't no
fact.
long ass list, and every name on it is fire.
Well, you were just on the Rakim.
Yeah.
That, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard that and I listened. I was like, still
Hey,
fire.
come on, man.
Legends, but still,
Still
from
doing
my
it.
section.
That's a
Yeah,
fact.
Method Man.
That's a fact.
You
Yeah.
can't play with Method Man to punch on you on a song.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What'd he say? Some of us about Black thought he was whatever, but he was lying about his roots. I hear these lines that Method in there. I was like, man, I gotta come after Method Man.
That's a fact.
Like, okay, well, let's go then. Let's find out. And
Let
I
me
did
ask
my
you this,
thing.
X. Why do you think that hip hop is the only genre that you can seemingly age out of. Where you have as rock, Mick Jagger, you know, some of these groups, Fleetwood Mac,
yep.
you know, they 136 years old, still touring. Like
Selling out stadiums. too.
selling out stadiums.
And they're dope.
And they're dope. Why do
Yeah.
you think our culture, our genre, I should say, is they think you can, they try to make it where you can age out of it.
I think once upon a time, you could be older than hip hop itself. And I think that might have been where it was like, come on, man, what you doing, nigga? You know what I mean? You're 45. Hip hop is only 28. like, we might need you to go on and, you know, get you a job. Something, man. You'll start a company. You know what I mean?
Go
Do
sell some
something.
weed. Yeah.
You know that? I understand that. And it's fucked up. I remember watching Run DMC get aged out of hip hop.
Yeah.
Like in retrospect, you know what I mean? They had Down with the King as almost their comeback type thing. But I remember where niggas, it was overnight. People just was like, Run DMC just was old.
Yeah.
And that was that. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
It was wild. It was wild. But it's people like, you know, that LL never allowed that to happen to him.
That's a fact.
And so like, are we really looking at it like, hey man, LL's still standing there. He's still tripping.
Facts.
He's still hungry.
Yeah.
So hip hop is old enough where the fans, the people consuming the music are from the first generation and a little bit older even. So now you got artists who might be the same age as I'm exactly the same age as hip hop itself.
Right.
I've seen the whole entire experience, all of it.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And so I feel like I got one foot in its complete history and another foot in its future, and its present and its future. And you have other artists who didn't really come from that place, and maybe they're stylistically aged out too.
Yeah, that's
you know, the times changed, and a lot of people weren't keeping up with them times.
Yeah.
Because if you was Cat in the Hat and it was Dr. Seuss in it,
Yeah.
Rakim showed up, and it was like, man, I don't know if
that's
that little rhyme on the forest that you doing ain't it no more.
Yeah.
Rakim doing compound rhymes, compounding syllables. He's stacking them up on you.
Yeah.
Here come Big Daddy Kane, Raw, R-A-W, terrorist, and I'm here to bring trouble to your phone, to your season. Okay, come on, man.
Yeah.
It was time to start writing a little bit. So I think stylistically people aged out too.
I agree with that. Yeah, I think as long as a veteran rapper, because you got to balance it with being authentic, being your age, you know, because then it can come off corny if you're trying to be too young and dress young.
Yeah.
But I think that, like we said earlier, E40 does a perfect blend of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he does.
You
40
as
is
well.
a great example.
Yeah, Tech as well. You know what I mean? Tech does it too, especially when you got that core fan base.
But we got to talk about this because you just brought up something that proves a point for me. Because it ain't about what you wearing. It ain't about that. It's about the MCs that you just named all have futuristic flows. 40 rap like 40.
That's a fact.
Hip hop caught up to 40.
That's a fact.
40 ain't really changed his flow.
That's
He
a
been
fact.
as dynamic
That's
as
a
he
fact.
always was the whole time.
That's a
It's
fact.
still that's
What's
40's
40's
pocket.
What's his line to like?
Yeah.
People say I'm rapping too fast. Y'all just listen
Listen
too
too
slow.
slow.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know,
Yeah,
he been
that's a
giving the
fact.
game for a long time. 40's style of rap is 40's style of rap.
Yep.
And it never got old because it was ahead of its
Ahead of
time.
its time. Yeah.
Tech Nine style of rap is Tech Nine style of rap, and
Yeah.
it never got old because
Yeah.
it was ahead of its time. Time might not. People just now starting to mess with flow pockets and patterns that Tech was hanging out
That's a
in
fact.
in '97.
That's a
Man, I just
fact.
heard Tech on what's the Dewey? What's the cat?
Dewey
Yeah,
the
Dewey
Don.
the
I
Don.
just heard that verse on that Dewey the Don
Yeah.
where they just did the video.
My
Shout
blood
out to
brother.
Dewey
Shout out
Don.
to Dewey. That's
Shout
my
out.
dude.
I was like-
Dewey don't
like-
play about X-rated.
Yeah,
But the
that's a fact.
crazy thing is that flow that Tech had there, because you don't always hear him doing the like all
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
That's like the angelic shit.
That's a fact.
From 01.
Yeah.
And I was like, God damn, this motherfucker still
Yeah.
got like that's 20 fucking almost 25 years
That's a
ago.
fact.
Yeah, he
That
went
shit.
crazy. Ollie Oxen Free on my album. It's my song. I gave Tech the last verse. You know what I mean? He went. The flow that he's using on there is insane.
He's such a like a
Man,
It's
Tech-
insane. So those MCs you named,
Yeah.
Busta Rhymes.
Yep.
Busta Rhymes can't get old.
Right.
That's Bus.
That's a fact.
They just now starting to grasp flows from Bus and trying to modernize now. I done heard 3 different songs built around Busta Rhymes vibes. You know what I mean? Because he had a futuristic approach to MCing, and because of that, Busta Rhymes style can't get old. Eminem's control of his flow can't get old. Crooked R can't get old.
So
It's not possible.
So it comes back to now, as we dissect it, it comes back to talent. You know what I mean? Because now it's all about popularity. You know what I mean? Talent is minimal. You know what I mean? But the popularity can attain, but see, talent will sustain.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
You know, hence the people that you just named.
Yeah, man. People starting to duplicate things that they see people next to them doing. A lot of rappers are just meme rappers. You know what I mean? They
What you
got their
call
little meme rappers.
Meme rappers.
Yeah, they got 2-minute songs. The entire
never
song,
heard that.
the song is 90 seconds.
Yeah.
You know, they got a chorus, verse, chorus, out. It's all
That's a fact.
short enough to be a reel. Bust and do his little reel with some type of something that people gonna think is funny or whatever, and drop it. The dude's he's not a rapper.
Yeah.
He's a content creator. He's
That's a
literally a
fact.
content
That's a
creator.
fact.
And
That's
it
a fact.
didn't have nothing to do with hip hop.
Yeah.
It had something to do with this is the way I occupy 90 seconds of a reel. That's
So,
it.
Let me ask you this, X, and this is relative to the streets too. What do you think the disconnect is between the young bulls and the OGs? Because it happens in the rap game, and it also happens in the streets.
Okay, so I'm gonna take a part of this answer, and then Dooney gonna take the other one. I think the disconnect this is coming from a person. I came home and my condo was full of my baby boys. There's Blocc babies in here, and we got 4 generations to go our Blocc crip in this building right now.
Yeah.
Right. I've always been one to go back to my baby boys. I think a lot of it got to do with thinking that we can't listen to them, that we invalidating their input. You'd be shocked how much my baby boys tell
That's
me
a
what
fact.
to do.
That's a
how
fact.
much input I allow.
Yeah.
And I'll listen, even if we got a wrangle about it.
Yeah.
I'll be like, all right, man,
Yeah.
you know, or, you know, my ability to be able to take it from my OG. So I think it has a lot to do with the elders treating the youngsters like their input, they're invalidating their input.
Yeah.
And it creates disdain.
Right.
And then now I'm invalidating your input and I'm overwhelming you with input from myself.
Right.
So I don't want to receive nothing from you, but I'm trying to pour so much into and dictate. And now we create a resentment that almost becomes insurmountable, because it's like, who are you to tell me, man, come on, man, ain't nobody listening to you. So now we got a combative experience going because it wasn't none of this being done with no love. So if we coming from a place of love, now we gonna get each other attention.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What's the mission? And am I listening? Do I view my baby boys as having value and being able to contribute? Am I aware that they actually better than me at a lot of stuff?
That's a fact.
That they know more. They live
That's a
this
fact.
shit. They know a lot more than I do.
Because it's their world now.
It's their world and it's their turn.
Yeah.
And so it's like, for me, it's just something that I've been able to channel correctly, that I like to accept their input. I like to bring them in to participate in some high level shit.
Yep.
And let them see what's going on and take that back. And I'm curious what you think. Donnie? What's the disconnect between the generations, between the youngsters and the OGs?
It was just, they decimated our community with prison and drugs and kids having no leadership and having no man over them to respect someone over them as a man. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
So they don't have a reference point.
I didn't have a father in my life.
Yep.
So no man tells me nothing.
Exactly.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And then if you don't have God, it's like the youngster becomes God. Mm-hmm. Because there's no father and there's no God. I don't believe in that. You know what I mean? So, and then you have the elders that's, some don't earn that respect, bro. That's earned, bro. You don't just because you old don't make you nothing but old, bro.
Shots fired at you old niggas.
You understand what I'm saying? You gotta walk the walk, bro.
How do
I
we
don't tell
define
my
old?
loved ones. How do I define old? Those that went sit on the couch, bro.
Yeah.
And they ain't out there in the street, and you still wanna hold on to the street, but you're not out there in it. And then when you out there, the young ones ain't liking the demonstration that you putting down.
Right.
You want them to do something totally contrary to what you doing.
So old really isn't necessarily completely relevant to age.
Nah.
Old is going to be relevant to disposition.
Yes,
It's
sir.
going to be
Perspective.
temperament. It's ingredients into that old.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I know some people younger than me that I think are old.
Old souls.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, there ain't no old souls. That's a compliment.
Yeah, no, I'm saying.
Hey,
that
let me
old
ask you,
souls
OG,
is
Dooney,
beautiful.
do you subscribe to the notion that, because I kind of do, that when us as elders, as OGs, you know, when we listen to the youngsters, it kind of keeps us a little more sharp and polished amongst our peers. And when they listen to us with the wisdom and experience, it kind of keeps them sharper amongst their peers.
We need each other, bro.
Yeah.
Remember, it's just that hierarchy. It's the
Yep.
it's the father, the brother,
Right.
the uncle, the cousin. We forgot those roles.
That's right.
And when you're talking about homie, I get rid of the word homie and I say brother. Period. It don't have no age. You know what I mean? I don't use little homie because I don't want to minimize who my brothers are. I don't care about your age. If you're 2 years old, you can check me if I'm out of pocket, bro. You can tell me that I'm wrong, bro, and I accept that. You know what I mean? But you have to be able to do that, bro. They have a voice too. When we was young, we wanted to be heard.
Yeah, that's
But
a
you
fact.
got to instill that. So I think that what I do is I've instilled it. And not in a combative way.
Yeah.
I love that my baby boys aren't afraid to call me and tell me something. You know what I mean? They'll do it. They be more afraid to not do it.
Yeah.
They be more concerned about not doing it than doing it.
Yeah.
They call me. They hit me up. They be like, man, what you think about this? And I'll be like, we'll talk. And then sometimes they already kind of have a place that they would like to land at with their decision. And then, or I'll know what I'm thinking, and I'll be like, hey man, tell me what you think about this scenario. And they'll either validate it or invalidate my thing I was on. And now I want to know, well, why? And we having this back and forth. Steel sharpens steels. You know what I mean? Steel sharpens steel. It says the men congregate at the gates. It says seek to attain wise counsel. Men of understanding will seek to attain wise counsel, right?
Right.
We ain't doing that no more.
That's
We're
a
not
fact.
seeking to attain wise counsel.
You know, the thing about it, and me and OG Dooney, we was talking about this the other day. You know, this country, you know, the establishment, they've done a number on us mentally, the social engineering. That thing in us, and I know you got it, I know I have it too. And with maturity, we learn how to modulate it. We learn how to get it under control. But there is an innate thing in us where, you know, I distrust you. You know, it's old against young, light skin against dark skin, educated against uneducated.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And it's this thing in us that we have to fight. You know what I mean? Do you think that's part of the problem? And it's educating our youngsters to first identify that, then give them the tools and teach them how to work through that.
Yeah.
They have to understand its origin and where that came from. That came back from slavery.
Right.
Light-skinned, dark-skinned, in the house, in the field. You know what I mean? Masters, you know, boy, and, you know, the buck dancer,
Yep.
and, you know, the slave. They taught us how to hate each other. And I talk to the young homies about it all the time. We only kill what look like us. If it don't look like us, we don't kill it. It gets a pass.
That's a fact.
You understand what I'm saying? So
We're okay with that.
at some
Give a
point, we
pass.
got to realize that we're beautiful as an individual, and then I can see you for being beautiful too.
That's a right. That's a
But
fact.
until then, we're going to continue to push their agenda, and that's to hate each other, bro.
Yep.
They taught us well, bro.
They did. And the thing is us coming from them environments, what I had to learn how to do, I had to learn how to see the value in us and y'all, because I didn't before. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's like we programmed. It's just like, I don't give a fuck. You can live today, die tomorrow. You know.
Yeah.
But as you get older, you know, and that's why the other day when we were where we were and you were talking and you got emotional. And I told you, I was like, I was 10 minutes ahead of you.
Yeah.
I was already
That
feeling
didn't help. I saw you over there going through it.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And what it is it's like when you, as we evolve and we get older, you become, I don't know, is it that we could become softer or we just become more civilized and more human? Because like what you were saying was some real shit. And like for the youngsters, like sometimes my heart break for them because I know, I'm like, damn, I was there.
Yeah.
But I was blessed enough to make it here. And if I could just tell you that shit you tripping on right now is trivial as fuck. Give yourself 20 years, you're not going to feel the same way.
Yeah.
You're not going to make the same decision, but it's hard to get through to them. So when you see them crash out, it's like, fuck, you know. And I didn't feel like that 20, 25 years ago. I was just like them, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and the reason I'm saying this because I know the space that you're in and your messaging right now is to really, you know, it's peace, it's reconciliation, it's love.
It's love.
You know,
It's love.
It's you know, even though, and I mean you, 31 years, you know what I'm saying? You, 26.
26
in 5 months.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Between the two, man, that's almost 60 years given to the system. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, you know, to be able to communicate that, that's why I wanted to bring that up. So what's your message? Because I know y'all working in SAC and y'all really trying to, not only with the music shit, but also in the community. Like what y'all got cracking in the community? How are you trying to change that narrative?
I think right now, one of the ways that we've been doing that, I think the Blocc movement thing, people seeing me, Brotha Lynch, on a mission like that, the music thing, which it could be considered unfortunate that something like that got to be the impetus, but it also could just be considered beautiful because I don't care what is going to motivate us to work together. You know, it ultimately comes back to love, but I don't care if it's music that did it. It galvanized our community for them to see X-rated, Brotha Lynch song, Sibo, like this is about to happen. Like, damn, there go T-Nut. I got T-Nutty and Bleezo on a song with Tech-9 dropping in a matter of minutes with a video dropping in the morning, right? In 2024. That's insane. It's an excitement right now. And hope. The word is hope.
Hope, that's
it's
right.
people hopeful right
Yep.
now, what we doing.
Yep.
And they see it going on, and I'm hopeful. And so as a result of that, you have this sense of potential and like wonder. People are saying, man, damn, you know, maybe we can do this. I'm hearing a lot of ideas coming from my brothers. My little brothers got a lot of really good ideas. And that, ironically, that emotional moment we talking about was me speaking about one
That's
of my
right.
baby boys.
Yeah,
And we was
that's
talking about
passionate.
hustle, man,
Yeah.
going to school, taking care of his kids, how hard he works. The part we leave out is one of our other brothers, who is his baby boy, built the company and is the reason why he could go provide for his family. Gave him a job. Gave him a job, housing, him and his babies. Get yourself on your feet. My little brothers, my baby boys from Garden Block doing that for each other. On some Nipsey shit.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
So there's hope right now and quality.
Yeah.
Like these are quality men. We got quality men, young men out there who know, like they with the shit,
Yeah.
and they'll do it if
Right.
that's what they got to do.
Right.
But they know that ain't what we supposed to be on.
That's a fact.
They know that. They want something else, and they're fantastic fathers.
Yeah.
And so I think that whatever the impetus is, we have an opportunity right now out on the South Side. They having barbecues, the Meadowview Bloods, the Garden Block Crips. They barbecuing, eating, riding bikes together. You know what I mean? It's just beautiful. And so I want that to spread throughout the city. I'm primarily concerned about my section. You stay like this, like we said, you put the mask on
Yep.
and take care of your own. Then we could look around and see what we could do elsewhere. But for right now, you know, our section is focused because the Meadowview Bloods is from the Gardens too. I'm from Meadowview Road and 24th Street. We from the same neighborhood. And so to see them doing that and having that kind of energy and hoping that we could foster that into a lifelong, that's just the way it is over here.
Yeah.
we got a chance for that to occur. Kids out there
a
playing, ain't
beautiful
nobody got hurt. They pulled that off a couple weekends ago. You know what I mean? T-Nutty I'm on the phone, T-Nutty outside, man. That's what we doing. I'm talking to Big Meek. Everybody is doing what they supposed to be doing, and a lot of it got to do with, it is love. Love for your babies can have you overwhelmed with that concept. You know. You can't unknow that love when you get a bar of it for real. When you start really, because I'm a loved up dude. I'm talking about my house is a phenomenal place to be.
Right.
I like to go home.
Yeah.
I'll go in my house. It's pitter patter and a high pitched one. Hey, did you eat something? It's my house is a very pleasant place to be atmospherically, right?
Yeah.
And so how can I not want that? When somebody got to interact with the dude that just left that, right? I am what I am. I'm from where I'm from. I'm all parole. Thank God I could be me. You ain't got to be politically correct ass.
Right.
I get to just let's just chill out a little bit.
Yeah.
It gets culture in my house. I want my sons to grow up in a home that is like a little bit more aware. Hey man, when you get outside, man, it's going to be interesting. You got to hold on to your culture.
Yeah.
And so when you have that in yourself, you're interacting and contacting people from a place of love.
Yeah.
And all the men that I have that are these phenomenal fathers and good brothers and good uncles, those men are doing the same thing. They got that love. They know what it is. You know what I mean? And I think that's the key. Once we've experienced it in that way, it make me want to experience it elsewhere. Because if I got to wear a mask, and I've done this before, I got to wear a mask when I walk outside, and they got to experience a different energy from me. Man, I could go home 100 days, 10 days, and I got to take that mask off before I walk in my house, right? And it only 2 of those days, I got to forget I got that thing on. And I'm in my house disturbing the energy because I got the wrong me. The outside version of me is in my house.
Right.
And I don't like him in there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm aware of when he in there.
Yeah.
I don't want him in my house.
That's a fact.
And I don't want nobody in my house that want to activate that energy. I don't want nothing walking through that satanic ass device in my house, playing with my atmosphere that I done fought and gave up shit for and walked away from all kind of shit for, to walk through one of I resent it. Walk through this bitch ass device and infect my house with some whole shit. And now, are you okay? Is everything okay? My son don't know if he should play with me or go get bend the corner.
Yeah.
Right? Like I resent that heavily. So I can't wear no mask.
Right.
Everybody gotta meet Dada.
Yeah.
Everybody gotta meet Dada. And that way I'd rather forget I got they mask on than to forget I got this mask on. Right?
Yeah.
So everybody gotta just ain't no mask. Everybody just gotta meet Dada.
right.
Dada in the building.
We was just talking about that right before you came. We was talking. I mean, this is my bro, so we was talking about life, asking about his kids, my kids,
Yep.
and we was just talking about therapy, men, what they go through, what they don't go through, like what they aren't allowed to talk about or what they are. And I think when you get older and you're fortunate enough to do something in this world, you start to have children and move through life. And I think that what you were asking is like, what hits you? What has hit me in my 40s now is that like life is fleeting. I have more behind me than I got in front of me.
That's a fact.
And I got these babies that I'm raising totally different. And I know I've watched his kids grow up, like my own nephews and nieces. They still call me Uncle Ken. It's like, I think that softer side to me is more appealing now than trying to be gangster or hard or want to like fight anybody or everybody. Most of my texts with you that I even share as I was scrolling through to see what time we booked for today is congratulating you on your baby.
Yeah.
And then you talking about my kids, I was like, oh man, my boys is going to, and I'm sending you pictures of my kids. Like,
Yeah.
that's what's important to me today.
But that's who we are.
Yeah.
I'm going to stop you, man. I'm going to stop you. We have to redefine the narrative. We have to do it. It ain't a softer side. It ain't soft, right? Because I can assure you that if somebody walk up to you while you soft old happy Ken with your kids and something ain't, he gonna have to deal with a grizzly bear. He gonna have the lions. Ain't nothing soft about that. You know what I mean? And so I think that it's not soft. It's one of the greatest exhibitions of strength you're ever gonna see.
That's a fact.
The easiest thing to do is bounce
Yep.
and go
It
try
is.
and do something
That's a
else.
fact.
And it ain't even it might be easier than that, but it's a struggle to do that too.
It is.
And it's choose your struggle. So to me, I think it's the ultimate, most G-est thing that somebody can do is say, I could go out here and do all that. I could. But bitch, I'm about to watch Bluey. Bitch, I'm watching. You know what I mean? Like, don't play with me.
Bluey.
Like, yeah, I'm watching
watching
Paw
it right
Patrol, cuz. Like, I don't know how many seasons deep I am. It's up. Paw Patrol is on. You know what I mean? Like, taking your ass home. Take your ass home. Like, when we do know we can be all these other
That's a
things.
fact.
I know I can go
Yeah.
jump in my car and pull up somewhere and it's up. X-rated here, right?
Yeah.
Man, I'm about to go watch, man, what Miss Rachel talk about today. You know what I mean? Ain't nothing soft about that. That requires restrint.
Or checking in on your people too. And
Discipline.
He asked me something just like, like he knows my ex-wife and it's, we all family. It's all cool. And he was like, man, how's your ex-wife doing? Checking in on someone who he knows and what I went through. And I was like, man, yeah, she was dealing with her breast cancer and stuff. Like, we having real conversation, checking in on each other. Like, how are you doing with that?
Yeah.
I know that stress weighs on you because you have children with her. And like, actually, like, doing men shit. Like, checking in
man.
with your
I think
brother
that's
and being
important,
like,
too.
Make men
'Cause-
great again.
Because exes, we've done that to each other.
Yeah.
Where we text, just checking in, tapping
Yep.
in. How are you?
Yep.
How are you doing, black
It's
man?
that
How are you
super-
doing, my
man,
brother?
It's
Yep.
that super hyper masculinity that's been created.
Yep.
And we trying to live up to these images that's killing us. Right?
Yep.
I don't give a damn if you know I cried, bro. Whoop me, bro.
Right.
I don't give a damn if you know I care and I love
Yeah.
and I'm all that,
That's
bro.
a fact.
Put your hands on me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And these kids are dying for these images, bro. That's not realistic.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Because if it's meant for everybody in the hood to be gangsters, we ain't gonna have no hood.
Right.
The whole hood gonna be dead or in prison.
That's a fact.
But
right?
what's gangster though?
But we don't.
What's gangster though?
Gangster is going home with your kids and handling your responsibilities,
That's a
man,
fact.
and loving them the way you're supposed to be loving them, bro. Gangster's just doing right and being right. It's
That's
a
a
way
fact.
of being.
Yeah, man.
It's a code of conduct, bro.
That's a
Yeah.
fact.
I
It's
agree.
not you
That's
do
a
whatever
fact.
you want to. It's
Yep.
gangster to control yourself
Yeah.
and to be responsible as a man, bro.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
Stand-
gangster.
Yeah, that's a
to me.
fact. That's
You
a
know
fact.
what
It
I'm
really
saying?
is.
So
And that's that narrative
we need
thing
to
I'm talking about.
redefine that for our young men because we letting them go with the super hyper masculine gangster and
No.
they're messing
They
their
ain't
life
gangster.
off. No, I'm saying.
Yeah.
I mean, with that thought, with the ideology, and
Yeah.
most people that's, behind them pushing that wasn't hyper masculine super
Yeah.
gangsters either.
Right.
You understand what
That's a
I'm saying?
fact.
So you got busters that's really pushing these youngsters.
Yep.
They ain't going to prison. They
You
ain't
know what
going
I think,
nowhere.
big homie?
It's the babies that's going.
That's a
This
fact.
what I think.
Our little
OG.
hitters going, bro.
I think that there was a time where being gangster, as we define it, was the standard. And there was crazy niggas. And you had gangsters and you had crazy motherfuckers.
Yeah.
And gangsters used to smack crazy motherfuckers. We actually used to get rid of, there's a few crazy motherfuckers.
Get rid of them.
Yeah, they
They
got
cancer.
located. They found them because of the birds. You know what I mean? You were like, all right, hey man, you can't be like this nigga, man. Hey man, hey bro, you can't be. About a week later, hey man, he did what? All right. Hey man, hey man, I'm gonna need your. They found him because of the birds.
Yeah.
They found him because of the birds, right? Crazy used to get you smacked. You are a threat, and you jeopardizing
Your liability.
people out here. You a liability.
Yeah.
Then people who would have smacked the crazies started getting threw away, or ended up
There's no consequences.
end up on some dope. Ended up here. So the crazy motherfuckers ended up being the ones running shit. The crazy, it became a merit based. I'ma earn the
Yeah.
keys to the car
Yeah.
through some crazy
Yeah.
shit.
Being the most reckless.
And so now we listening to a motherfucker because he's crazy instead of listening to him because he gangster.
Yeah.
And that's why I like to separate the two.
sure. It's a difference.
Yeah, it's a
It's a
difference.
difference, bro.
And I think what we got is an era of
Crazy.
The crazy niggas
Hell
calling
yeah.
the shots.
Yeah.
The crazy motherfuckers
Yeah.
started running shit.
No, that's a
because
fact.
it used to be the most G motherfucking was going his word was going to be heard.
That's right.
G. The one that was most G.
Yeah.
Not the one that was most crazy, the one that was most G. Now it's niggas shut the fuck up. Everybody like, these niggas just smack everybody. Right?
Yeah.
That's fear.
Yeah.
That's not love. Gangsters ruled by love. Crazy niggas ruled by fear.
That's a fact.
And niggas couldn't wait for your bitch ass to go to jail.
Or die.
Or die. Couldn't
die.
wait.
Yeah.
So they could have some fucking peace.
Yeah.
And not be afraid of these crazy ass niggas, right? That's what the fuck we really talking about.
Most crazy niggas that I knew got killed
Crazy.
by a coward.
Right?
You know what I'm saying? I
You don't
promise
put-
you.
you don't put
Most
shot in the
crazy
corner,
niggas I
bro.
know got shot in the back. You know, it was a soft nigga. Like, you know what I mean? Just because he was scared.
Who
Right.
said Fat Joe
Fear.
just said something about that?
Yeah.
You see that interview?
Uh-uh.
Where he was talking about getting shot by a guy that wasn't. He was soft. He was
Yeah, but he was
I was
scared.
just bullying him,
Yep.
and then
Yeah.
he shot me in the back.
It almost.
And
it
I
Yeah,
almost-
you
think
scared,
people, I think
motherfucker.
people get not wanting to sacrifice your liberty for being scared or soft.
right.
I walk away like 2 or 3 times from every incident, bro. For that third time, I'm not walking away no more, bro. I don't understand. Because I walk away, it makes me weak.
Right.
How about I'm trying to spare you and me, bro?
Sometimes you got to do the thinking for everybody.
That's
That's
what
what
it is.
Commissioner
That's
Roberts
why
told me.
that's you have
You got
to.
to do the thinking for everybody.
Commissioner
Because this
Roberts
person
told me
ain't
that.
thinking, because you know who you are.
Yeah.
Say, man, if this dude was thinking, would he be running up on me, bro? Would we running up on the court though right now? You got to think for him.
Yeah,
He
that's
can't
right.
be sane, bro.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
That's a
And then
fact.
you lose your sanity behind someone that's insane.
That's a fact.
And
be
you know that
enjoying 'em.
short-term gain for long-term pain,
Yeah,
it don't
that's-
work out, bro.
My girl, I was
why
just
you
telling
going.
him. My girl just said some real shit to me the other day because I had a bad moment. He knows the person, so I won't get into the details. But I had that thing where it's like I'm cool all the time, but I had one person who pushed me, and I lost it in front of the girl that I've been with for a couple of years. Her,
Yeah.
You know, we're not married because we're both divorced, so we just gonna do that. But at the end of it, she was fucking pissed at me over what had happened, and I'm confused because I didn't have a problem with her, and she was like, the dude that you was just ready to crash out on is a fucking loser. And she was like, you jeopardized those 2 boys and your studio and your business.
Yep.
And you know, if you're from the street, and I'm from where I'm from, like I saw red in that moment.
Yeah, we
So I was
trained to go.
So I was just like, fuck it. Like, dude, he's been testing me. So now
Yep.
I just want to see it. I want to see if what he's saying, he meant it.
Yeah. Sometimes it be like
and
that.
and I was
wanna
telling
know.
him, he saw me that day, and I was
Yeah,
hot.
that's
And
a
I was
fact.
just like, man, fuck this. And then she had told me that night, she was like, so you, instead of walking away, you would lose it all.
Everything.
And she was like, he has nothing to lose. And she even
That's a fact.
she hit me with some crazy shit. She was like, so if let's say you don't win and he beat you up and everything else, like you can't do anything. You just got beat up or whatever. Or worse. But if you did it, this is LA. This is like he could sue you for this. He could take this. You know, you have a multi-million-dollar home.
Yeah.
You got a multi-million-dollar student. Like you lose everything. It's lose for you no matter what because you lost your composure.
Yep.
And I had to sit with that. And that was hard. As a man, I was like, damn.
Yeah.
And that's
think-
why I say that restraint is a
I was like,
superpower.
fuck.
Yeah,
she's
that's a fact. I think
a
So
superpower.
to hear you say, like, I'm walking away to say it was both. Now I'm like, even when people are talking shit and I feel like they're in the wrong, I have just recently been like, I don't fucking care.
Let me
Like,
tell you something.
Like, I don't even
I'ma
care.
Throw this out there.
Yeah.
This soft chair,
Yeah.
soft couches, soft back,
Yeah.
soft woman, everything out here soft.
Yeah.
I'm not going back to hard, bro.
Yeah.
Hard gets you on hard bunk, still everything, bro.
Yeah.
Trying to be hard, bro.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stay soft out in the soft world, man. You know, I'm gonna give us all the break, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna spare you and me.
That's a fact.
Because there's nothing worth you going back to that animated cemetery. We want to call it prison. That's an animated cemetery, bro. Where people walking around with cement bars and electric fences as their casket, bro.
Yeah.
That's all that is, bro.
Yeah.
It's not a fair exchange.
The Walking Dead.
Like you said,
not a
I
fair
always say
exchange.
prevention is the best cure. You know what I mean? And conversation rule the nation. Like at this stage of the game, bro, anybody that I'm having some type of discord with, you know what I mean? I try to talk it out. You know what I'm saying? Conflict resolution.
Yeah,
you
man.
know what I'm
It's
saying?
a real-
Because a lot of times what I done learned too, and this is for the youngsters watching, you know, you be amazed when you're able to pull motherfuckers away from the crowd and have a conversation. Because when you're trying to talk to somebody in front of people, it becomes performative. They got to
Ego
show
is
out.
active.
Ego.
Ego is
You
active.
feel me? So, you know, I try to pull people to the side and say, hey, man, you know what I mean? Because listen, I might need to apologize. I may have said something or spoke out of turn and didn't realize I offended you. So allow me that grace, and I'm going to do the same for you. I'm going to allow you the grace to apologize or stand on it. And you can still stand on it and we can agree to disagree, you know, but it
But
don't
do it
always
respectfully.
it don't always have to escalate. Like I told a youngster one time, right? He was like, you know, because I told him, I was like, man, these young, you know, like some of this shit, if y'all can't get some understanding and y'all got to be around each other, you can run the fade and keep it moving, right? Nigga, OG, I ain't fighting no nigga. I'm gonna slide that nigga. I said, okay. I said, let's do the math. I said, okay, so you're gonna avoid one fade, right? So you're gonna step on him. You're gonna park him. Okay, cool. So you do know when you go to jail, you gotta run fades for
got
the
to run a
next
fade.
40 years or whatever,
Yeah,
right?
especially if you got some homies.
Yeah, you feel
Yeah,
me?
they gonna need that. They
So-
might need worse than that.
You feel me? So
Yeah.
you're foregoing one fade to go somewhere where you're gonna have to run them. You know what I mean? I said, so do the math. He said, man, I didn't think of it like that. I said, yeah, bro. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? You
let's go
gotta-
run that one fade.
Just go ahead and run it,
Just
bro.
run it.
Win,
Or-
lose, or draw.
or-
motherfucker.
Or go home to
Or
your
go home.
kids.
I know the
Or keep it
circumstan-
100. You don't want to run. You don't want to run
But
that
some,
fade, bro.
listen, to
Like,
me,
come on, bro. Keep it 100. It's okay, man. Come over here. Let me talk to you. You don't want to run that fade. You don't wanna
Yeah.
run.
But to be fair, I understand circumstances be different. Like somebody like me at this stage of the game, if I get into it with somebody, most likely I probably ain't gonna never see them again. I'm gonna go to my house, they gonna go to their neighborhood, whatever, right? But if you in the hood and you gotta see a motherfucker, it might be in order that you gotta do that. Because if you don't, then you know how that
Yeah,
go in the
everything
hood.
got to be done.
You feel what
correctly.
I'm saying?
This is what I think. I've learned to start exercising compassion and empathy.
Yes.
With great deliberation, with deliberately, regularly.
Yeah.
And that go back to what I want in my house, energy wise. Every time I've been about to have a blessing, it's been precipitated by the most petty, persistent, nonstop, aggressive amount of complete and utter bullshit that you can ever imagine. The most annoying shit.
Yeah.
And humans. So what I noticed is whatever people like to call the energy, weak human beings, and are weak specifically because of either spiritual issues, mental issues, whatever created the fracture that allowed it. I think it's like Mr. Smith's, and then maybe it's that one spirit chasing you, but he gonna boop, and this motherfucker, and he gonna boop. And you're going to be away over here, and it's going to be boop, and it's going to be nonstop. And be like, God damn. It'll get so petty where I'll be like, man, something good got to be about to happen. So I started looking motherfuckers right in the face and be like, I see you, bro.
Yeah.
In the middle of it.
Yeah.
What? Now, I will finish what you were saying. I'll tell it, man. I see you.
Yeah.
I see you.
Do the thinking. For
I understand what I'm experiencing, and I
Right.
mean it just was spiritual warfare. If we stay on our toes, we could be empathetic that a lot of people are vulnerable to a lot of shit, man. We fighting a lot of things,
tell
man,
you
energy
something.
wise,
Yeah.
ego wise, spirit wise, and stuff that's trying to stop a blessing you don't even know. Do you know that Satan? But there's this funny story, right? I use this shit metaphorically. People that believe it literally, good for them, and people who believe it metaphorically, that's cool too. But I think this is a dope story. It says that there came a day when the sons of God congregated in heaven and Satan came among them. And God asked him, where have you come from? And he said, in and out of the earth, roaming it to and fro, right? But he's saying this in heaven itself. So this motherfucker can move around, right? This is what it exhibits to me, that this darkness or whatever that thing is, but it's not fixed in time and space. It's not rooted here on earth. It can leave this motherfucker. It can be in one place in time or another. So we're talking about defending yourself against something that knows about a blessing you have before you do, right? Like, this motherfucker ain't worthy of this shit. You gonna ask, he got what? What happened for him? Oh, hell no, boop. And you got this irrational ass experience you having with this human being. It's like, man, you all right?
That's a fact.
You okay? And I just had to understand, I see you.
Yeah.
I see you.
Yeah.
I see you in the middle of it.
That's a fact.
I see you.
I see you,
You know,
Roman time.
you
I
know,
see you
you
in
know
there.
what I learned too,
Yeah.
X? You know what I learned? You know, when you favored by God, you are also favored by the devil.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
He ain't tripping off them dudes
that's-
over there.
that's
They
a
already
fact.
with him.
And what I learned too, which can be difficult sometimes because you're talking about us exhibiting emotional intelligence
Right.
that someone else may not have. You know, as I got into this age, like I more trip off of why you disrespected me, right? And then once I start assessing it, I'm like, oh, okay, you got trauma you ain't dealt with. This ain't even about me. You
Most of the time
projecting
it's
some
not.
other shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we done triggered some shit that ain't got nothing to do with us.
It ain't got nothing to do with me, but that takes maturity, and you know, you live life long enough, it teach you how to live. You got to put that time in on earth to get there.
Or it could be priorities. And because for those who may lack maturity, they still need a process to make a good call, right?
fact.
So we could talk about priorities.
Yeah,
This motherfucker and this shit can't fuck with this shit.
right.
So
Simple scale.
yeah, this ain't like,
rocket
oh,
science.
that's what you need. You need to get shot the fuck up. I'm not gonna do it.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
You're an imminent threat to me.
Yeah.
So because of your need and what I'm willing to
Right.
do don't match up, I'm out of. I'm
That's a fact.
gonna go watch Bluey.
And experience.
I'm going to watch
hey,
Paw
and
Patrol.
experience,
cuz.
hold on, real quick. And experience teaches me that, like you said, I ain't got to do it, but I understand. I've been around enough to know if you keep campaigning, you're gonna get elected. So it ain't gonna be me.
Oh, yeah.
It's gonna happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I ain't gonna wish it on nobody, like,
Yeah.
but it's just, yeah, man. There's somebody out there that'll do that.
That'll do it. Yeah.
There's
They ain't gonna be as
definitely-
gracious as me. Yeah.
right? And it's
Yeah.
like, you know, I see you.
Yeah.
I'm outta here.
I want to ask you a question real quick, OG Dooney. 29th Street, Garden Block. You being one of the forefathers, founding members. How did that start and why did it start?
Well, like for us in our community, right, in 29th Street, we had cats that grew up and with, like we said, without the fathers and without the big brothers. You know what I mean? You got young cats from everywhere. It was cats from Compton, cats from LA, cats from New Orleans, cats from Frisco, cats from,
Alabama.
It was Alabama. It was just a melting pot, bro. And we just decided, bro, this is the line we gonna push. And this is what we gonna do. We gonna make sure everybody over here is protected. You know what I mean? Then we used to have weekly meetings and stuff, bro. It was different. It's like I come out to a whole new world. I didn't sign up for what I came home to. You know what I mean? I was having a conversation with the brother today. It's like I signed up to take care of the people in my community, bro, not just men. You know what I mean? In our apartment complexes in that area, X-rated mom or grandmother would let him stay out because she knew we was out there protecting over him. He can be out at 10, 11 o'clock at night. It's not a problem. You understand what I'm saying? And when we went away from protecting and went away to and start offending
And exploiting.
lashing out and exploiting, it messed the community up, bro. We vanguards, bro. We supposed to be moving our community towards something greater, bro. How do you have a place that we supposed to, if this I was saying earlier, if it was meant for us to be all out in the street with just men, right? Who's taking care of the women and the babies at home? If it's just we just killing for each other, who's killing for the women and the babies? So it was a protection thing, right? You didn't come in our hood doing nothing to nobody, or you ain't gonna make it out, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then we had a standard. We had a way of being. It's things that we didn't do.
Right.
And I was talking to the young homies. I was like, well, when did we start killing somebody like the mafia movies because he told or because he did something wrong in the hood? What happened to us turning our back on him, bro? Just banishing him, bro.
Yeah.
Everybody from the hood, we see this dude, everybody just turn their back on him.
Yeah.
He ain't gonna come around no more. Now everything is kill him. There's nothing don't come with killing him.
Right.
That's your brother? That's how I feel about you? I came from an era, we punched on each other, but it was to teach you how to fight, to make sure you wouldn't be scared and that you wouldn't run on me. I've never put my hand on my loved one, my brothers, in any like violent type way, bro. Discipline you, bro. I'm gonna talk to you, bro. What happened, bro? I feel you disrespected, man. We're gonna talk about that and we're gonna get past that. We're gonna move. It just changed to where, I don't know, it's kind of like I love my wife, but I'm gonna beat her up and I'm gonna swell her face up and then I'm gonna go in there and hug her and kiss her on her when I get in the bed.
Right.
But I love you, baby. It's kind of like the same thing we do with our homies. I'm gonna punch you up. You can't go play with your babies, swell your face up, beat you up, but I love you, homie.
Tell you I love you. Yeah.
Nah, bro.
And
this
you,
shit-
and you
it
better hold
changed,
your
bro.
mud too.
It changed, bro.
Right.
Yeah, it's an abusive experience.
It's
Let
changed.
me ask you, what was a young X-rated like when you met him?
Man,
10. Okay.
and it's funny because at that point when he came in, when he first came in the system, I was only like 20 something too. I was a kid. So like I wanted to seem bad as hell. And it's crazy because all the time that we was in the system, they never let us be on the same main line.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I get to hear about everything he doing and what's going on, but I knew what's in him. I know what the Blocc raised, bro. That Gardens raised certain people. I don't care if you from Meadowview, Detroit, 29th Street, Garden Block, you breed a certain type of people, bro. And it was, and the reason why it's so volatile is because cats is really with the business, bro, where they from, bro. Even Oak Park, I mean, ain't no punks over there, bro. You know what I mean? Cats that really represent. And for him to be a youngster, I just seen him as a little old man, bro. That's little OG.
Yeah, I can see it. I
Like,
can see it.
he get it, he got it. He was just advanced, bro.
Yeah.
He was just advanced, bro. And I'm proud. That's like I'm proud of all my young homies. I think we don't get enough props and give each other enough props for who we are. You know what I mean? It's like he the young homie, so I can't give you no props because he the young homie. Why not, bro?
Right.
Why not? You get your roses wherever you create this deed, and whatever you do, when you doing this body of work, you get that. If you do get it at 6, he should get that at 6, bro.
Yeah.
If you do it at 13, if you do it at 15, he should get his roses, bro.
Yeah.
And if he continue to do it throughout his whole life, he continue to get them roses, bro. He was one of them. He's still doing it, bro.
Yeah, he always
He
believed in
picked
me.
it up, bro. I'm always going
That's
like, I
beautiful.
believe in all my homies, though, bro. I don't have anyone.
I felt special though.
He
He
he's
believed
different,
in
bro.
me. I don't know
I ain't
how
gonna
much.
give up on him, bro. 'Cause
Nah, you never did.
It was in him. You-
But he
And
told me
you
though.
were
Certain people have a
instrumental.
light.
And you were instrumental in helping him come home.
I
too.
had to, bro.
Yeah.
I even at the risk of me losing my freedom to get at him over there, I know how valuable he was to our community.
That's a
bro.
fact.
I've always knew his value. And I'm saying, I hear about Tupac and I hear about everybody in their community. I'm like, well, that's rated. Ain't no Tupac. People like, oh, you like Tupac. Bro, I wish you would say you Tupac. I love Tupac, but you're rated. You don't have to be anybody else. He's who he is, right? And for him I gotta make sure he get back out here and use that influence, because I know what's in here and I know what's in his heart most of all. And if I can get him out here, he's part of the work that I'm doing. I need all my people. I go into prisons. I go into 6, 7 prisons right now, bro. I'm still trying to go and get all those that got a brain out here back in our community because we need them, bro. He was just the one I was focused on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I know what he give, bro, and I know his effect, bro. And I don't care. He get mad, cuss me out. He could do all
Hey,
that.
hold on. You two hard ass niggas. You got this nigga blushing.
I did that on
this
purpose,
nigga blushing
nigga.
with love.
I did
Hey,
that
we
on
need
purpose.
that though. We need that. We
Nah,
need
it's
that.
real, bro.
Yeah.
It's proud, bro. It's everybody don't take that toolage, right?
Yeah.
And I can't say that for me personally, but for me personally, when I speak to my young ones, bro, they listen. I can't go say the young cats don't listen. That's
Yeah.
bullshit. That's not my experience.
Yeah.
I don't have the experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, I listen. Dooney had the benefit with me of already being a legendary figure. You know? So like I've been blessed to be able to do time with people and have communication and input from people that many never got to meet. You know what I mean? Him and B-Dub was co-defendants. I've been cellmates with Barry. Then right now working with Barry on his parole plans and his package. And we got him, you know, whatever we can do on our side. So I've been blessed to be either in the company of or being able to communicate with our founding fathers. You know what I mean? While they were doing their time and all of that. And so like even Barry, when my first Garden Block party in 87, I got to go to my first party and everybody was outside and it was just a beautiful thing. And then by the time they caught their case, cause they did it all. There was a lot of incarceration involved. So we would hear all the stories. And then when the big case happened and they, you know, they got taken away, when I say 50 years and served 31 of it, and Barry's still there. We've been, you know, when I got to the transitional house, they put him in my room. They didn't even know that what they was doing, who they were putting together. They put us together, and they told him, "Man, you're Shelly." They were so proud of me. I didn't know they was proud of me like that.
They was proud of him.
They was like,
They
"You're
was like,
Shelly."
hey, man, you know you're going in the room with Andre. Do you know who Andre is? He's a rapper. He's from Sacramento.
Like you don't say.
They
huh?
telling
Yeah,
my
like,
nigga,
they told me all this business, and I'm just laughing. I was like, "Is that right?
Yeah, right. Is that right?
Is that
Really?
who is he?
Dude, you don't say.
What does he look like? Is he a cool bunkie? Like, are we gonna get along?
He
Like,
really
I
did
played it
that
all the
today.
way
Yeah.
until I got to the room, bro.
Yeah.
And then they seen when he came in, and they seen how he looked at me. They was like, "Wait a minute."
We hugged for about 15 minutes.
They was like, "Oh, they know each other."
Yeah.
You like did me like that?
I'm
Why you
running
put
around.
my homie on blast like that though? He
Yeah.
just put a
Yeah.
slide in and slide out, and you didn't put him on blast.
Yeah, so like because I own my company, I was able to assign myself hours of work. And then I was able to go, I had the condo up the way from the transitional house on Broadway, 8th and Broadway in East Oakland. So I would go to my condo and work my 8 hours and call in for overtime. Man, I got some overtime. I'm gonna do about 4 or 5 hours of overtime. I'm gonna do half a shift. Y'all good with that? All right, cool. So I'm 12 hours. I'm at my condo, pushed down there, and I walk in. I got the 550 Gran Torino. I'm in the BMW.
Yeah, that was clean.
And I walk up in that motherfucker, and I'm like, God damn, you gotta be fucking kidding me. I'm like, you serious? I'm gonna hug the shit out this nigga, man. Everybody was like, they know each other. It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So all that time, and him telling me, take your ass to school.
Yeah.
Take your ass to the motherfucking anger management groups. Take your ass to NAAA. And, you know, for it to come from him. Well, I was like, okay. Because I had, you know, I want to go a little bit, but it's like I don't want nobody to judge me for that. You know what I mean? I don't want to be, you know. So fuck that shit. I'm on the monkey bars. I'm on the pull-up bar. I'm getting it in all day and talking about what Jay-Z and Beyonce doing. You know what I mean? I'm talking about TMZ bullshit. Nah. Take your
trying
ass
to get
school.
you home. Yeah.
So
I
yeah,
love
for
mine,
it to
man.
come full circle, for me to end up, you know, where he's in my room in the transitional house,
Yeah.
2018. Like not even. I think I was home 3-4 weeks, maybe. Not
Yeah.
even.
It's a full circle.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this, Raider. So you come home, Blocc movement, the Blocc star, strange music. Let's talk about strange. Let's talk about Tech N9ne,
Yeah.
Travis O'Gwen. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, man. Strange music. So, you know, my relationship, I love Tech N9ne. That's my brother. And he just really, in terms of dopeness, it's hard for him to not know what's dope and what is, he knows dopeness.
Yeah.
He is dopeness, and he knows what dopeness is when he sees it. And so he just felt like, nah, man, he was like, he said, how many of them you got? Because there was this song me and Lynch did, you know? Because like everybody always asks me, how come you ain't brought everything that Lynch has ever sent me to record? I've recorded and sent it back for the record. I've always done that. Whatever, if it sent me some shit for Triz, I did it and sent it back. Send me shit for him. It's like goddamn detox. So everybody's saying, how come Lynch ain't? Everything Brother Lynch Hung has sent me, I have recorded it, sent it back. He has it. If it's not out, you got to call Lynch. Stop asking me.
Like a Sacramento Dr. Dre.
He's
Right.
Dr.
That's
Dre
a
over
fact.
there.
That's a fact.
Lynch got
That's a
detox
fact.
in his computer, man. Yeah, so I played him a slapper, and he was like, because you like, all right, that was dope. And he was like, here go another one, and then there go another. He was like, you just existing like that? This how you just? I'm like, yeah, I'm acting like that right now.
Yeah.
He's like, okay. And so, yeah, me and Lynch went to KC. We did a show, the fast version of that. I remember him and Tech was kind of at odds a little bit. I have a habit of standing up for Brother Lynch Hung. I don't think I'm going to break that habit no time soon.
You ain't supposed to.
So it's a few people who had to hear about it when I didn't like what they had to say about, too many people was cheering to see Lynch under attack or something, or to perceive that he was under attack. A whole lot of people celebrated that. And so I was like, none of y'all with the pom-poms, you ain't gonna never be straight with me no more. Ain't no coming back from that. But we gonna let these two men handle their business.
Right.
But they gonna do that. The two of them gonna do that.
Yep.
And none of y'all doing nothing. Ain't nobody, all that cheering is out. And Tech respected it. He commented on that. It was like, yeah, I respect what you saying, OG, and we gonna see each other, brother. It's like, okay. So sure enough, I go to KC. We got the show. It starts spreading like wildfire. All the homies knew I was in town.
Yeah.
So all the Crips start calling me, man, Tech-9, because Tech-9 got all the Crips. This nigga got Crips. We call them Tech-9's Crips.
Tech-9's Crips.
Yeah, for sure. Tech-9's Crips.
Where they from in KC? I'm
You know where the fuck they from. Every time I turn around, Tech could be doing something. Yeah, Tech out in the event.
Crips
and
do fuck with Tech, though.
I'll pull up
Crips
and I'll be
do
like,
fuck
what
with
the
Tech.
fuck? There be homies everywhere. I'll be like, God damn.
Shit,
Tech.
when we was at the Popper store,
Yeah.
he was the only Damu there.
The only one.
It was all of us, or y'all, you know what I mean? Or y'all. It was all of us, you know what I mean?
Hey,
And our
Neutrality.
Damu Tech.
Allegedly.
Yeah, we fuck with Tech.
Yeah,
we fuck
man.
with Tech.
Yeah, so all the homies start calling me, man. Tech want to see you, blah 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 blah. You coming to the barbecue? Tech said he coming to the barbecue. I'm like, Tech coming to the crib barbecue? Niggas is like, yes. If you're coming, he said he was coming. I'm like, I don't believe niggas. I'm like, Tech, what? And that, I was like, nigga, get the fuck off my phone. I'm finished getting ready. My phone, I'm like, it's Triz. And I'm like,
Yeah.
what's up? Hey man, where you gonna go eat? I told him where I was gonna go eat. He's like, I'll be there in 15. Tech could be there in 30. Sure enough, I get to the spot. We up in there, bodyguards, full gear on, strapped up. And my boys strapped up. Everybody there. Knox was there, and Tech walked up in that bitch glowing like a motherfucker. He got the Bruce Leroy. He got the red glow. Then he got the Bruce Leroy
He
glow.
got the red glow.
Yeah, Tech walking that motherfucker, floated in that bitch like Dracula.
he got such good energy.
Yeah, he do. He got
Yeah,
some dope ass
that's a fact.
energy.
That's a fact.
And he said, I told you I was gonna see you. I
Yeah.
told you we was gonna see each other. I said, indeed you did. Got a big hug.
Yeah.
We had a meal, big meal, a lot of kicking it. Bumped a few things. He was really interested. How's Lynch? I called, FaceTimed him. Lynch and Tech got to talk a little bit. Tech excused himself. And when he came back, I could hear him as he was walking. Yeah, man, really good energy, really good people, and blah, blah, blah. And I just feel like you got to meet him, and he just handed me a phone. It's Travis. And it's like, hey, man, hearing good things. You know how Trav talk.
Yeah.
Hey there, so X, I'm hearing some good things. Trav don't fuck
That
around.
sound like Donald Trump. Nigga. That sound like Donald Trump.
Yeah, he don't sound like Donald Trump. Yeah, so Trav with the whisper, he's like, oh, it's Monday.
Yeah.
So Monday, I'm gonna need to see you. Are you gonna be available on Monday? We have this whole thing like, yeah, you damn right.
Yeah.
I was supposed to be back in Vegas
Yeah.
like Saturday. I was like, hell yeah, I'll be in.
Yeah.
I'll be in town Monday. So I go see the facility. The tech was rehearsing. We spent 4 hours touring the facility, and I still didn't have enough time to see the whole thing. It just got to kick it with Trav. Went and got a meal with Trav. Linked back up with Tech the next day. We well, that would have been that Saturday. We had a big meal. Brought Brotha Lynch on. They was able to break bread. Turns out that Tech N9ne's son's favorite rappers are X-Rated and Brotha Lynch on, right?
Good taste.
And so, yeah, he got some good taste.
taste.
Yeah, so we all have good meal. They break bread. They have a brief communication. You know, they say love each other, got a hug, and Lynch went about his way. Tech went about his way. We jump on a plane, go back to Vegas, and Tech just was like, man, that was some real ass shit. He called me, man, you know, and I'm gonna fuck with you. So Tech flew to Vegas. He told me he was there. He told me why he was there. His lady's birthday. The homies start hitting me, man. Your boy just walking around the mall. I was like, who? Tech N9ne. I was like, with who? His girl. With who else? Just them. Just them.
Yeah.
I was like, man. They said, when we've been keeping an eye on him, but you know, we don't want it to be weird, but so I was like, I didn't know what to do. So I called you. I was like, I'm gonna hit him up. Just stay with him and I'm gonna hit him up.
Yeah.
I called him and I'm like, hey man, you just walk around the mall, huh? Like a regular person. He said, how you know that? I said, cause I half the mall calling him, calling around. He was like, man, I said the Crips just following you around the mall is with me, man. I was wondering what they So they stay with him and his girl. You know, this nigga buying jewelry for his girl.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man. You ain't walk around like that.
Right. That's right.
They get him to his car. He dip out, go do him and shit. Me and Erik and the boys, we pulled up on him, broke some bread, kicked it, had a great time. And he just was like, man, I'm going to send you a song, man. I'm going to send you a song. I was like, it's all good, you know. It ain't about that for me. I like organic interactions.
That's right.
We just was chilling. I never asked about no music, a feature, none of that. And he did. He sent me a track. I jumped on it, did my thing. That turned into Still Right Here. And then we had a circumstance where, Tech called me and was like, man, my partner's coming to Vegas. He said, I don't care what he tell you. He's coming to Las Vegas to see you.
Yeah.
He's like, he got 100 things he gonna do. If motherfucker coming to Las Vegas to see you, tell my partner what you need. Let's get this done. I need you with me, X. I was like, shit, I'm with it.
Yeah.
I'm with it. He's like, I need you with me. So Trav came. We, I took him all around Henderson to the deputy city manager to discuss all kind of different plans and ideas. My investors and business partners, he got to meet with all of them, taught a lot of things, learned a lot of things. And then he told me, man, after all of that, Trav was like, you're 100% about to pull off all this shit that you're trying to do. All of this is going to work. He said, but it's going to take you about 5 or 6 years to do, or maybe 7. He said, I don't think you got that kind of time. I think you've unfortunately done a lot of time already. And, it's a person with enough money to find out what's what.
Right.
So this is a person who is like, I don't like what you experienced. To Travis, that type of motherfucker, he didn't like that, what I went through as a child. He's very protective of children, and he's a good dude. Like they say, the hardest motherfuckers, man, they got soft spots for specific kinds of shit. So Travis took kind of personal offense for what I went through. And he was like, because of that, we lost a lot of time already. I want to fast forward you. See if we can make this stuff happen a little bit faster.
Yeah.
We don't got no more time to waste. And I was like, cool. And they wrangled over the paperwork. I kind of stayed out of that as much as I could. And boom, we got a deal done. And then we've been cooking ever since. And everybody's been doing what they said they would do in this. For me, a lot of people talk about their experiences with strange music, and I had a lot of input that I would prefer to not have had if I could do that again. Yeah. Because my experience has been my experience. Yeah. You know what I mean? And it's been pretty good, man.
So talk to me real quick, because the time getting tight.
Yes, sir.
A Sin in Heaven.
A Sin in Heaven.
Let's talk about it real quick.
Yeah, man. So A Prayer in Hell was me exiting prison. They say, man, you don't got a prayer in hell. And so not only did I not have a prayer in hell, but I said a prayer in hell, and my prayer in hell was answered. I come home, I have a lot of beautiful things going on, and my sin in heaven getting adjusted, acclimated to society, the missteps, the learning experience to start being able to stand on my own too, you know? And I think it's also, the cover represents me having these idealistic views when I was in prison and these theoretical opinions about what life would be like, the rose-colored glasses that I wore, and that me losing my wings and those feathers is really a loss of innocence. Because there was a very innocent perspective about life that I had while I was in that box. It was almost not, it was cute. It's like, yeah, I know, little guy, you know, you think what the world is going to be like. I'm making this shit up. I don't know. I've been going since I was 17 years old.
Right.
I'm 40 something, mid 40s, about to get out. Yeah, I don't know shit. I don't know nothing. And I don't know that I don't know nothing. I don't even know it because I'm so put together. I'm X-rated. You know, I own my company. I own my home. You know what I mean? I got a great relationship. I think, you know, I'm more put together than everybody. But ultimately, the reality of it was that I had a lot to learn. I had a lot of experiences that I needed to have, and I think those feathers represent my innocence and me coming to terms with the reality that I was going to have to make some adjustments out here to live a life that I wanted to live. Yeah. And that's what this album represents, getting through that and landing on my feet, off of parole, living a life that I want to live the way I want to live it as a dictator of the energy that I want to be surrounded by and emanate. And I think we've successfully done that. So this album is the closing of that chapter, really. The next one will be, you know, a whole different thing.
What you think the next one going to be? What's the next step?
I have about 5 different things cooking simultaneously. And I'm gonna let the music tell me which one of those it'll be. Yeah. There's a celebratory project. There's a very dark project that my fans have been asking for. There's another very dark project that my fans have been asking for, and then there's my anthology project, my soundtrack for my documentary. So I'll keep working, cooking the new stuff while we situate and sift through these offers. Because just today, it's Showtime, HBO, Netflix. You know what I mean? I've had 3 different agents today. Like, we'd love to do your documentary. We'd love to do your documentary. So
you think we'll see an X-rated biopic?
I do.
Okay.
I do. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was, I had a meeting about that today.
Yeah, I think that'll be dope. Can I get a role in it?
I think that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
It'd be an honor.
Who could I play?
You be doing it?
I don't know.
I could be doing it.
He could be doing it. He got the muscles.
Yeah, I'll be doing it. I'll shave my shit
I'll be
off.
honored. I'll be honored.
Shave my beard and shit.
Yeah, Tyrese got to be doing it. We got Tyrese.
That's right. Huh. Yeah, Tyrese could be. Yeah,
Tyrese got to play Dooney. You might have to be Barry. You might have to be Big B Dub.
Yeah. Hey, so with this being said, bro, as we come to a close, man, listen, I just want to really take my hat off to you, bro, and I love and I'm proud of you for the evolution. You know, even from that 17-year-old kid that I vicariously met through Psychoactive to the man that came home, you know what I mean, even till now, you know, and, you know, you're talking about redemption, reconciliation, you know, growth, and the fact that you're leading with love and grace and mercy, which coming from where you came from hell, you know, and to still have that human to reach in there with all that crud and still be able to find love and pull that out, you know what I'm saying, and then lead with that. You know, I commend you with that, because most people would be very bitter for the shit that happened to you that probably wouldn't happen now in the legal system. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I commend you, the fact that you've protected your heart, you know what I mean, to where it's not so hard and to where you can't love again, you know, and you know, being able to lead with that. So I just got to highlight that. And then as my brother, you know, you actually have taught me some things too, you know what I mean? And even a vulnerable moment for myself, it has always been difficult for me to tell my partners that I love them when they say that, I get a little bit uncomfortable, you know. And I know that's because I didn't grow up with my dad. So I never had a man tell me that. So when the homies would say that, I'm like, oh, I mean, nigga, I love you too, but that's kind of weird. You know what I'm saying?
What is
You know
this
what I mean?
weird ass
Yeah.
shit? Love, love.
But X say that shit with his chest, and he say it, and when he say it, he mean it, and you feel it, you know. So you kind of got me in the habit of that, you know what I'm saying? So with that being said, I want to tell you, I love you, my brother. You my brother, you know what I'm
I
saying?
love you as well.
And you know, I'm always here, you know what I mean? We have
Yes,
our
sir.
talks. We, you know, we do what we do. Same thing with you, OG Dooney. Whatever love, that's my brother. So you get that automatically. So, you know,
And we got 29th Street, 24th Street, and 21st Street in this
Up in
bitch.
here.
Yeah.
Block Star in this bitch. We
Yeah.
really up in here.
Okay. Yeah. So with that being said, bro, listen, man, I appreciate you coming. You know what I mean? This is always home. You
Yes,
know,
it is.
Whatever y'all need from me, you need from me, nigga. You know,
Yes.
that's automatic.
Yes,
you know
it
what I
is.
mean?
Yes,
on
it is.
whatever level it need to be on. You
Yeah,
know what
I
I'm
am.
talking about?
I am supremely fond of you. I'm so proud. I speak of you in the highest terms. I brag about you. When we are under assault with people who would like to paint us as being lesser men than we actually are, you're an example that I use. That like, what you know, my brother, what you know about this one, what you know about this one, because I got counter arguments.
Yeah.
Your existence is literally a counter argument to their assumption and presumptions and their arguments that we're unintelligent, that we aren't compassionate, that we don't know how to love each other. Your existence in and of itself, your relationship with P, the way that y'all brotherhood made me love y'all.
Yeah.
Watching that, I want to borrow that. Them is my brothers, and so that's how it is. We really feel that way. I fuck with you. It's 916 in the building forever. I'm always gonna be an advocate. You've always been positive with me. I fucking love you too, dog. Straight the fuck up.
Burn him at.
Zombie
Hey,
shit.
so real quick, I know these cameras blinking and shit. So listen, man, we got X-rated Loc.
Yes,
we got
sir.
OG Dooney. We got producer Ken, Big Court. We got from 24th Street, Garden Block to the 4 block in Kansas City, Missouri, to
Sir.
North Highlands.
Come on, don't
Come
leave
on,
North Highlands
North
out, baby.
Highlands.
Don't leave
You
him
know what I'm
out.
saying?
You ain't stepped out there voting
Hey,
for
so-
that.
hey, so this Holdin Court podcast, X-rated Loc, man. We out of here. Salute.
Yes, sir.
Blaze.